us to make change? Who's with us to fight for our dignity? Yes, we can. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Shields, President of the CAW.
Thank you for the promotion. I do want to start off with a couple sincere thank yous, and first and foremost, thank you to PFLAG for organizing and bringing the community together here tonight, but not only for your organizational skills, but for the theme of this evening, and that's inspiring change. Because as the Mayor, as Anji and as Jane have touched on, the events of November 3rd is not reflective of Oshawa. What's happening here this evening is reflective of Oshawa. Also, a big thank you to Anji, Jane, and their family. Although you were victimized, don't confuse that for one moment that you are victims. Because of your courage and your strength and speaking up on this issue, you are going to make a difference. The events of a week and a half ago in front of Gordon B. Addersley School has changed us. It has shaken our community, and it has robbed us of some of our innocence. But tonight is our opportunity to stand united and stand strong. Allow this to be a movement towards social equality. We have achieved some rights in the Canadian court systems. Many of you in attendance here this evening stood in solidarity with a young high school student a few years back when he wanted to bring his same-sex partner to his high school prom. At that time, I was the president of the largest and most progressive local union in this country, and I took so much pride in the solid leadership that I was surrounded with, because it was controversial at the time, and I can remember good friends, strong leaders, supporting the issue, standing up to those who were critical. But there was one moment when the door of my office was closed and a number of my leadership had an intervention and asked me, "Mike, are you sure you want to go down this road? You're being criticized in the plant." And I looked across my desk and I looked at them and I threw the Constitution of the Canadian Auto Workers Union on my desk. And I looked them in the eye and I said, "Understand one thing. The oath of office you took as CAW leadership talks about defending workers, regardless of their gender, regardless of their race, regardless of their religion, regardless of their sexual orientation." And quite frankly, if you don't support what I'm doing, I will accept your resignation right now. And I was so proud because not only was there no resignations, the enthusiastic support carried the day. But regrettably, social equality must be fought for on a day-to-day basis, and the courage shown by Anji and Jane will in fact help to bring attention to homophobia that it still exists in communities across this entire country. When we truly accept that homophobia affects our communities and workplaces, only then and only then can we initiate the opportunity to denounce such behavior. Victims of homophobia are somebody's sons and daughters. It's somebody's brothers and sisters. It's somebody's friends. It's our co-workers. It's the very people we love and cherish. I believe we all have the right to live free of fear and discrimination. And our children never, ever should have to bear witness to the atrocity that took place at Gordon B. Addersley School. This case shows just one example of the dreadful effects of homophobia in our society, yet it has opened the eyes of so many in this great city. It has done so because it has happened in our own backyard, which makes it so much more real. This gathering should serve as an educational opportunity for the general masses and offers all of us the opportunity to come forward and show we will not tolerate hate in any form. We as a society must rise up as we are tonight and demand respect, demand safety, and demand equality for all. Equal is equal. Same with less is not acceptable. So let me say, when you see parliamentarians stand up in Parliament and differentiate between the gay community having the right to marry in equal fashion to the heterosexual community, we are not sending a subliminal message. We are sending a clear message that they are not equal, and that is unacceptable. It was mentioned earlier this evening, homophobia can be lethal. It did play a role in the bully at school that led to 13-year-old Shaquille Wisdom, a student at the Ajax High School, to hang himself a little over a year ago after being bullied for being gay. Played a role as well in the States when 15-year-old Larry King, who was murdered earlier this year by a classmate because he asked him to be his Valentine. I need not remind you that these two brave women here this evening, Jane and Angie, were assaulted while picking their kids up at school. A schoolyard of all places. It should be the safest of all places. It is where we send our children to be taught. It's where we send them to be educated. It's where we send them to learn. And what they witnessed on that day is devastating, to say the least. But what they learned will depend on how we react. It will depend on the lessons they will receive from their parents and their teachers and us as a community. The lesson that hate and violence has no place in our society under any circumstances is the real lesson out of this tragic experience. You heard our master of ceremonies recant the cry, "Yes, we can." "Yes, we can" was the battle cry for the new President of the United States on election night. And I say, yes, we can as well. Yes, we can demand equality for all. The theme for this evening is to inspire change. And that, my friends and neighbors, is what you are doing by being here this evening. Thank you for coming out on this rainy evening. Thank you for standing in solidarity with Anji and Jane and their family. And thank you for defending a cause that is so just. Thank you.